Okay, so this is part 2 of the Making a Mario Game with Toy Engine tutorial series. And in this video, we're going to show you how to make the coin blocks where you jump up and hit the block and the coin comes out. So I've already made a copy of the first part of the tutorial, and we're going to start from where we left off. And I've just renamed it to Mario 2 Coin. So we're ready to just jump into this level and start doing our coin block. So to make a coin block, we're going to need a coin and a block. Makes sense, sort of? So we'll just drag those two out, and we'll just move the player over here so the enemy's not getting in our way, and we'll hit play. So the coin just sitting on its own like that, we can jump up and collect it, but that's not how the coins work in Mario. The coins in Mario, you jump up and hit the block like this, and they go shooting out of the block. So we want to make it work like that instead. So the first thing that we're going to do is start scripting this block. So we need to recognize the event where we're hitting the bottom of the block. So we'll drag out a contact bottom, and we're going to need to send an event to the coin to tell the coin that that's happened. So we'll use a send event function, and we'll call it hit1. And the 1 is sort of important because we're eventually going to have more than one of these coin blocks. And if you just use the same event name for every coin block, then the event's going to be indistinguishable. So if you hit one block, you're going to send coins shooting out of every block. So you need a different name for each block. So the easiest thing to do is just number them. The first block you place will be hit 1, the second block will be hit 2, and so on. So I'm just going to use hit 1 here. And then we need to recognize that in the coin. So we'll open up the script for the coin and use a custom event, hit 1. And then what we want to do is have the coin move up and then get collected. So we'll use a move event function. And we'll set the velocity to be, let's see, we'll try 555, and the duration is going to be 0.2 seconds. And then once it's done moving, we want to collect the coin. Alright, so let's try that. So now we jump up. Yep, so the coin goes up and gets collected. If you had the audio, you would hear like a nice satisfying coin sound, but we're just using the mic audio track here, so you don't get to hear that. So yeah, that sort of works pretty nicely, but it's not really exactly like the coins in Mario, because the coin's supposed to actually come out of the block. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this coin on the side here as a spawner. So the way we do that is first we need to deactivate the coin itself. So at the start of the game, we use a deactivate event function. And deactivate just makes the coin invisible and removes it from the physics of the game. So there's no way of contacting it and collecting it. It's just, it doesn't actually do anything in the game. It's just there to spawn copies of itself pretty much. So we deactivate it, and then instead of on hit 1 doing the movement, on hit 1 what we're going to want to do is instead spawn a copy. So hit 1, spawn copy. And the reason that we need copies is because we might want to hit more than one coin out of the block. So like most of the blocks in the level just shoot out one coin, but there's one that shoots out like 10 coins or something. And we don't want to make a different like script to shoot 10 coins versus one coin. We just want it to be modular so that we can just change the number 1 to 10 and then it'll shoot 10 coins out instead of 1. So it just saves us a lot of work if we just do it from the start to handle any amount of coins. So for spawning the copy, we need to put in an offset. So you'll notice that I had the coin sitting beside the block, and this just makes it easier to like tap on it, open the scripting. If they're overlapping, that can be kind of tricky. So we'll use the offset so that the copies spawn inside the block instead of beside it. So we'll put in a vector for that, and we want to move it up a little bit, or well, first we want to move it to the side, so we'll use 60, which will move it right into the center of the block, and we'll use 15 to move it up a bit so it's like closer to the top of the block. And then for the movement, we don't want to do it during hit 1 anymore. We want to do it when we spawn the copy. So we'll add a spawn copy. Oh, that's not what we want. We want the spawned event, not the spawn copy. So the spawned event gets triggered by the coin that spawns when it first gets spawned. So the new coin will get spawned, and then it'll move up and get collected. So we'll save this and play. So right now there's an invisible coin to the left of the block, right up here where the player's jumping. And when we hit the block, a copy of that coin gets created in the middle of the block and shoots up and gets collected. And so we can hit this as many times as we want. We just keep on getting coins out of there. So now we have to limit it so that it'll only shoot out the number of coins that we want it to. So we're going to do that on the block side, not on the coin side. And the way we do that is we need to use a condition. So I'm going to drag out a condition, so an if block, and we need a condition for that if. So instead of just having send event directly hooked up to contact bottom, we'll go through this if first. So the condition is going to say we only want to do send event if the condition that we've shot out less coins than the number we want to shoot out so far. So we'll use the is less than value function, and the numbers are just going to be the number that we start with and the number that we want to go up to. So we'll start with 0 because we want to have 0 coins being shot out first. Like when the level starts, you haven't shot any coins out, so it should be 0. And this will be the total number that we want to go up to. So we'll say 3 just for testing. It'll be easy to recognize that we've got it right. But now we need to increment that 0 value every time we hit the block. So when we right after we hit it, it needs to go up by 1 so that the next time we hit it, it'll check, oh, is 0 less than 3, is 1 less than 3, is 2 less than 3, is 3 less than 3, and then the condition will be false and it'll stop shooting them out. So we'll set that up next. We're going to need the set value function, and the value that we're going to set is that 0 value. So we need to zoom out to be able to hook those up. So that 0 value needs to get set to first, so we need to do an add because we're going to add 1 to that. We want to increment it. And then we'll use the 0 value. Alright. So let's see if that worked. 1, 2, and 3. And now we can't get any more coins out. So when we do the contact bottom, this if gets triggered, and it checks if this number is less than 0 number. If this number is less than this number, and the 0 gets set after every hit to the addition of that number plus 1, so it just goes up by 1 each time. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is change the image of the block after it runs out of coins. So we're going to use a if and a negation. So we can do we can see when the condition is not true in addition to when it's true. So we'll drag out another if, and for the condition, instead of using the same condition as this if statement, we want to use the opposite of that. So we're going to use a negation. So we'll negate that condition, and then so we want to trigger it off of contact bottom as well. And if that's true, we want to change the image. So we'll use a change image event function. And the number that we want is 2 for the deactivated coin block. And you can see that just by going here. You see the number at 2, you see the deactivated coin block, so that's why I put in 2 for change image. So now we'll play again. And 1, 2, 3, and it gets deactivated once the third coin comes out. So that's how you make the coin block from Mario, and you can set it up to however many coins you want. And when we build our level, we're just going to copy out a bunch of these and put them throughout our level.